I gotta be honest, I came up with the idea to make this video on May 26, 2026, which would have been the supposed release date of GTA 6 if it hadn't been delayed for the second time. And dude, honestly, I think a lot of what's out there on the internet right now, especially with AI, it's pretty wild. Leaks everywhere, like all over YouTube, news sites and all that. And man, it's really complicated. I'm not here to bash that stuff. I'm here to dig into something I got curious about today and research deeply, which is this. How did the GTA 5 leaks happen and which ones actually turned out to be real? Yeah, my friends, that's what we're talking about in today's video. There are some pretty cool leaks, but I'm only going to bring up actual leaks. I'm not going to include like magazine info because some stuff was from magazines like interviews or things like that, which was more common back then, okay? And there were also rumors that never panned out. There's only one rumor in this video that I'm gonna say didn't pan out, because some parts of it actually exist in the GTA 5 beta. Maybe back then people thought that stuff would be in the final game, but it didn't make it. Aside from that, I'm bringing you everything that was confirmed real in GTA 5. I'll share dates, sources, and all that. And at the end, I'll also talk about the GTA 5 map, since there's a lot of talk about that damn GTA 6 map. I'll cover how the final fan-made version of the GTA 5 map turned out, and then we'll compare it side by side with the official final release version of the game. Sound good? So with that said, let's dive in. Just one more thing to add, Rockstar announced GTA 5 on October 25th, 2011, revealing that the first trailer would drop in November. That trailer did come out, it dropped on November 2nd, 2011, and the game itself only launched on September 17th, 2013. So some stuff happened before the announcement, some before the first trailer, and plenty of things came out right around the game's release. I'm gonna present everything in a kind of chronological order, you know, from the oldest to the newest, with dates to keep it neat and organized. Alright, let's go. The first one I want to talk about is from July 26, 2010, actually a bit earlier, but I couldn't find the original text. So basically this is all I have from July 26, 2010, which is the oldest thing I have here. It basically says there was a rumor that GTA 5 would take place in the areas around Hollywood, which is kind of already the whole deal with GTA San Andreas and all that, and the users explain why. Remember, this is a rumor, not a leak. And below it also says that the guys at VG247 are making up another story this morning, flirting with what seems to be a huge rumor that GTA 5 will be set in Hollywood. Patrick Garrett from VG247 claims in a 500-word article that Rockstar will announce the new title at the Max Payne event. If this turns out to be true, and if what VG247 is saying is accurate, consider this info a spoiler. Then they say the site can't confirm the story as true, that they sent an email to Rockstar and got no response. Just so you guys understand where this rumor I just showed you came from, here's the deal. Basically, when the fans worked on GTA San Andreas, they went to the locations, took photos. It was a big Rockstar crew, like seriously, to really dive into the world and figure out what to do. And if I'm not mistaken, the same thing happened with GTA 4 and also with GTA 5. Fans actually spotted a lot of important Rockstar people hanging around that Hollywood neighborhood, so they assumed Rockstar was working on a game set there. And since GTA San Andreas was already set around that Vinewood area, which is basically Hollywood, they figured GTA 5 would be in that same spot. So yeah, that's why it was a rumor, not exactly a leak, but it was a rumor that ended up being true later on. Now, this new one I'm about to talk about is a real leak, a legit leak that happened in early 2011, more precisely on February 27, 2011, when the following went down. 5 GTA 5 sites were registered as new domains, and users immediately linked that to GTA 5. The article says the following: all games in the Grand Theft Auto series are packed with in-game brands, and we expect the next title to follow the same path. Rockstar is known for heavily investing in these brands, some with full websites and even advertising campaigns. That's why these recent Take-Two domains seem connected to the GTA series. These 5 domains were recently registered by the publisher. CashForDeadDreams.com, if I'm not mistaken, is a site that sells jewelry for the dead. SixFigureTapes.com, man, I honestly don't remember what that one's about. StopPayingYourMortgage.net, from what I saw, it didn't show up in GTA 5. I looked it up, but it wasn't there. Then there's HammersteinFaust.com and LifeInvader.com. LifeInvader is probably the most well-known of all. It's the in-game parody of Facebook. The article itself says it certainly doesn't reveal anything substantial, but these are indeed GTA brands and could be a sign that preparations for the next game in the series are underway. There are also users on forums saying that someone investigated the reports and found something that might be interesting. Now, the third leak was the very next day. The one I showed you before was from February 27, 2011, and what I'm about to show you is from February 28, 2011, just one day apart. And to be clear about this leak, this image here was cropped. I couldn't open the original image, it just didn't work. But based on this, a stunt double from GTA 5, like an acrobat stunt guy, listed on his resume that he worked on GTA 5. So someone went digging and found the resume of this guy named Declan Mulvey. If you click on the resume, it doesn't open, at least I tried, and it wouldn't open. Then they actually contacted said the guy, I think even Eurogamer reached out to him to ask if he really worked on GTA 5. He said he made a mistake. He meant to put GTA 4 like Grand Theft Auto 4, but he wrote Grand Theft Auto V instead. Even so, he never fixed it. He never updated his resume to say he worked on GTA 4. People also searched through GTA 4 and found nothing with his name. Later, when GTA 5 was released, users saw his name in the credits. His name is Declan Mulvey, and he's listed as a stunt double in GTA 5's credits. So it wasn't exactly a leak, it's more like a slip-up. But still, it's a leak because it wasn't supposed to be out there. So sequentially, this is the third one that's confirmed real. Now, the fourth leak is one of the biggest leaks out there. It's the leak of the project codename and the casting call, which in this case was called Project Rush. It includes descriptions of several characters, though not their real names, they used swapped names. But once I start showing it to you, it'll become pretty clear. The page that broke this was Kotaku, and they explain how it all went down. This happened on March 7th, 2011, so there was that leak on the 27th, another on the 28th, and then like 7 days later, another one popped up. Things were wild, man. GTA 5 was really cooking back then. I'm gonna show you this right here. This leak says Grand Theft Auto V's codename is Rush, and these are its main characters. And below it also says the following: the next game in the Grand Theft Auto series might be returning to Los Angeles or to Los Santos, which is its equivalent in GTA. Rumors about the cast were uncovered by the Google search expert superannuation for a project codename for a project with the codename Rush. If these are indeed related to Rockstar, the casting calls for a project called Rush, linked to Take-Two, Rockstar's parent company, point to a video game set in the Los Angeles area. Definitely not like 2011's LA Noire or the announced but never seen Agent. Apparently, it's a contemporary fiction with a cast that sounds like a broad and memorable group of delinquents, miscreants, and Hollywood stereotypes. It also talks about gangsters from the FIB, actors, rednecks, hippies. The cast list doesn't mention GTA by name, but it certainly resembles the diverse multicultural groups that appear in Rockstar's games. If true and related to Grand Theft Auto V, this would confirm the rumor spread by VG247 last year, which pointed to the return of Los Santos and Vinewood, Los Angeles and Hollywood's counterparts. This area was last seen in GTA San Andreas, which also included Las Vegas and a city similar to San Francisco. And here are the names of some characters that if you take a look, you can easily figure out. Check out this description. Mitch Hayes, 38 years old, annoying FIB agent, witty, extremely successful, in great shape, does triathlons, drinks light beer, but still has a good sense of humor. Look, I think except for the light beer part, because I've never seen that, and the sense of humor part, because this guy's a real pain, this Mitch Hayes here is definitely Steve Haynes, the annoying FIB agent who's extremely successful, in great shape, probably does triathlons. Miguel Gonzalez, 25 years old, young Mexican-American agent from the FIB, connected to several mafia bosses, very by the book. This one would be Agent Sanchez, who dies in the mission The Wrap-Up. Here's another one that I think is pretty easy to figure out too. Kevin De Silva, 18 years old, Albert's chubby son, addicted to first-person shooter games, smokes a lot of weed, has anxiety issues and a patient card because of back problems, very sensitive and outspoken, tends to make racist comments while playing online. This is the description of Jimmy Michael's son. I'm just going to talk about one more here, which is this. Tae Wong, 39 years old, a somewhat incompetent Chinese mobster, loves taking ecstasy and going to raves. This guy is Tao Sheng, Wei Sheng's son. So this leak from March 2011 turned out to be real too, and this one was really awesome. Now we're going to talk about a leak that happened on October 25th, 2011. From March to October took a while, but here we go. This leak says the following: October 25th, 2011 by Steven Toledo. Grand Theft Auto V will be set in Los Angeles and could feature multiple characters. Remember that Los Angeles was already kind of confirmed because of the other two leaks we talked about just a bit ago, but now it's saying there will be multiple characters, so things are heating up, getting closer. Keep in mind that at this point the trailer hadn't even dropped yet. The trailer only came out in November 2011, so just look at the level of stuff that was already leaked. It also says the following, confirming old rumors that Grand Theft Auto would take place in Los Angeles or a fictional version of the city. A source familiar with the game revealed to Kotaku today that these rumors are true. GTA 5 will be set in some version of Los Angeles, bringing the famous franchise back to a location that last received the GTA treatment in the series' best-selling game, GTA San Andreas. We're also hearing from multiple sources that the game will feature more than one playable character. This seems like a natural evolution for the series. After the release of GTA 3 and GTA Vice City for the PlayStation 2, the PSP games set in the same cities as those titles allowed players to control a single new character on each console. These portable games helped establish the idea that there's more than one life worth living in a GTA city. After the release of GTA 4, the series creators at Rockstar Games allowed players to control a second and later a third character in the high-definition version of Liberty City. This applied to those who bought the base game plus both episodes. So here they're talking about GTA 4 with its DLCs, which are The Lost and Damned and The Ballad of Gay Tony. From there on, they just mentioned some things that aren't really relevant to the leak anymore. Stuff already shown in previous GTAs like GTA 3 and GTA Vice City, which had their stories versions featuring other protagonists. That already showed that there was more than one life worth living within the same city, which is what was said earlier. Then we had an evolution of that in GTA 4 where we basically have 3 shared stories, but you have to play one DLC at a time. The natural evolution was that in GTA 5 we have 3 playable characters. At that point they didn't know it would be exactly like it is now, switching characters almost instantly, but it was already showing that this was an evolution the company had been working on for years, which is why there ended up being 3 playable characters. And this was another leak that turned out to be true. Now this one I'm about to talk about is more of a rumor or maybe a leak with some hits because other things were cut from the beta, and about this text I couldn't find the original, which would be from the VG247 page. That page doesn't exist anymore. So there's a GTA forums thread where you can see a huge leak from November 2011. This was posted on January 5th, 2013, but the leak basically said the following: the game world is absurdly huge and will push the Xbox and PlayStation 3 to their limits. That's what the leak said, supposed leak. It also said the main city is simply Los Santos, but it was at least 4 times bigger than GTA 4's Liberty City. Just considering Los Santos, the rural area around it, the beaches, etc. are massive. For example, we saw the main character, an African American in his 30s. After the first trailer, it was more likely to be a middle-aged Caucasian man driving from downtown Los Santos to the countryside, which took over 15 minutes. It also says the views were incredible from what they did with the dam, wind farm, refinery, almost 100 NPCs working, and everything else. Then it says the shooting mechanics were greatly improved with added animations for diving, climbing, rolling, and crawling. Crawling isn't really there. Well, there is a crawling animation, but only if you do a specific trick in GTA 5. It goes on to say that everything is for greater realism. The reload animations are also more interesting and less static, and there are many other scalable elements in the world like ladders, climbing ledges, and so on. This one, guys, the climbing ledges thing, this was one of the things removed in the beta. I even made a video about it showing that someone managed to reproduce this animation that existed inside GTA 5. Actually, in the mission Complications, there's a part where Franklin climbs up to the window of Michael. So that's why this can or can't be considered a leak. It might just be a rumor from someone who was making it all up. It also says there are animals in the game, from dogs to cats, but other previews aren't confirmed if you can actually hurt these animals. Rockstar managed to do that in Red Dead because it was a faithful representation of the world the game was set in. Allowing dogs and cats to die in a game set in modern times could cause issues with PETA, so it's not clear if Rockstar was just messing around. There are planes to fly and you can even crash them into buildings if you want. Rockstar included a lot more interiors, like Hauser was counting interiors to estimate the map size, so we can assume there will be more and bigger interiors. You can see there aren't that many interiors in GTA 5 because GTA 4 actually had way more, so in a way we had a downgrade. It says here the shopping center would be accessible, and as far as I remember there's no accessible shopping center. There's a university campus, but it's just the campus. You can't go inside the actual college. There's a police station, but only one is accessible, the one in Los Santos. There's one in Paleto Bay whose interior doesn't even load, and one in Sandy Shores where the interior loads but it's not normally accessible. It also says there's a huge hospital, but none of the hospitals in GTA 5 are accessible except for the one in the Aldi Napoli mission, which is part of the Stranger and Freaks missions, and it's all destroyed. You can only access a small part of it. It also mentions a vast underground sewer system, and that part about the sewers is true. There are lots of tunnels and all that, where a later mission involves a jet ski chase that ends with a waterfall jump, kind of like The Fugitive. Ridiculous but amazing references in Tony Gay's nightclub missions. Now there's the creek, right, with the jet ski chase from the Hood Safari mission, but as far as I remember, it doesn't end with a waterfall jump. I'm not sure if this text is wrong since it's not the original. It also says the city is full of NPCs running, lifting weights, hitting on women, being chased on foot by cops, shopping, washing cars, fixing fences, moving houses, and fueling their cars. And honestly, I think this text is pretty exaggerated. Like really exaggerated. There's some cool NPC interaction, but nowhere near that level. Fixing fences, moving houses. Maybe those were things shown in the trailer because, for example, there are NPCs fixing fences in the trailer, but not in the final game. So maybe this guy took that from the trailer and called it a leak. It also says that cars can be upgraded and repaired, and there was even talk about the car having fuel, forcing the player to refuel it. To be honest, I'm glad that never happened. It would have been super annoying. The dating aspect of the game was removed, and honestly they pretty much got that right. It ended up way more limited compared to what was in GTA 4. You still have a cell phone, but only people you actually know in the game call you to ask you to do a mission or something before a mission. And to be honest, the phone part was heavily cut in GTA 5. I don't know why. That's probably why there are several secret calls you have to make to characters, even without knowing you have to call them. It's kind of weird. I don't know why they reduced it. The arsenal also includes the usual weapons you'd expect, but there's also a flamethrower, which I don't remember being in GTA 5 remote mines easier to disarm landmines, and claymore mines, I'm not sure what that is. Now you can pick up random objects on the streets and buildings to use as weapons, and as far as I know that's not possible, only in GTA 4. There's also a museum where you can steal swords, axes, and ancient items. It also says that you can break a fuel line. If you shoot the gas trail, it will lead back to the car and make it explode, and this is real. Because when you shoot the gas tank, it starts leaking, then you shoot the spilled gas and everything blows up. It also says mini games like bowling and darts were removed, but darts are actually in the final game. It says here you can play basketball, work out, do arm wrestling, bet, and fight in cages, but none of that is possible. It says you can participate in triathlons and water races, and that's correct. As for canoeing, rappelling, climbing, base jumping, and skydiving, only skydiving will actually be in the final game. It says character customization is back, but only in terms of clothing, so this part is correct too. Body weight had its feature removed. The player you start with, just like CJ, can't be changed in terms of race, age, height, etc. And this was right as well. Rockstar says the heist missions might return, but only as part of side missions and not in neighborhood houses. No child NPCs. Now it's possible to grab people and use them as shields in hostage situations. This doesn't exist. The police are said to be way more realistic. Even if you kill someone knowing no cops are nearby, you won't risk getting a star on your wanted level like in GTA 4, where cops use tear gas and smoke, dogs, riot gear, and to be honest, this whole police part is completely wrong. It also says here that you can enter some buildings and lock doors, push objects to block paths, and create barricades, but none of that exists in the final version. It also says you'll improve your skills as the game progresses, and I think that's normal. Pretty much every GTA has that. If you only ride motorcycles, your skills will improve, just like with individual weapons. Certain weapons can be customized, and one of the missions involves rescuing a very familiar icon from a previous game. There'll be heavy rain, strong sun, even earthquakes showed up in the game. Anyway, this supposed leak here, guys, I don't really know if I'd call it a rumor or a leak or what, because a lot of stuff here didn't actually happen, but some things I know were cut and used in the GTA 5 beta and then removed by the devs. So I don't know, maybe it really was someone with insider info at Rockstar, but what the guy had was a very early version. He had info about a very early build of GTA 5, so he said a lot of things that went wrong, or a lot of stuff that was still speculative, maybe stuff that wouldn't work in the final game. Now here's a pretty simple one, right? Well, simple in quotes. It's the leaked car list from GTA 5, actually a list of cars that included GTA 5 vehicles. This happened inside Max Payne 3, where some folks managed to access the game's files and discovered there were vehicles that didn't belong to Max Payne. Then users figured out those cars were from GTA 5. This leak was back in May 2012, so by then we already had the first GTA 5 trailer. People knew the game was coming. You know, it was just a matter of time before it dropped and everyone was hunting for info. That's when they found this inside Max Payne. I'm showing this to you guys. On NeoGAF, there's a user named Shinobi602 saying, "It seems the Max Payne 3 disc contains info about GTA 5 vehicles, and this wouldn't be the first time GTA files are found in games outside the franchise, like Bully and Red Dead Redemption, whose files have also been cracked. It was also possible to find info on vehicles and other stuff related to the GTA series games, and it's unlikely this is the full list of vehicles." The leak says, a preview of Max Payne 3 files for the Xbox 360, and here it mentions some cars like Burrito, Taxi, Infernus, Minivan, Karen Futo, Cavalcade, Imponte Dukes, Buccaneer. Actually, there were quite a few cars, right? For helicopters, we had the Maverick, which is the only helicopter name I remember. That Cuban 800, I don't think so, and I don't think any of the others either. I don't recall the boat names either. Anyway, some stuff did come out, but from what I understood, it wasn't that many cars, just a few. That Bobcat too, from what I got, there were some cars whose names actually show up in Max Payne, but it's not that big of a leak, just a small one. Still, a real leak from May 2012. Along with that Max Payne 3 leak, there was another leak, but this one isn't really a leak to me. It feels more like a reference. It's also about Max Payne, not inside the game files. I think Rockstar just put it there for use, like a screenshot or something like that. I'll show you what I mean. There's this open forum on GTA forums where a guy says he was playing Max Payne 3 in multiplayer mode, roaming around the docks map of Rio Tiete in deathmatch mode, when he came across a small office room and made a shocking discovery. The room he's going to show is located in the corner of the map, both in the large and small versions. Check it out yourselves if you have the game. So this is the room, and when you step inside, you see a bunch of photos on the wall with these ones here really standing out. The 4 images here, actually 5, right? There are 2 fighter jets. This one looks like the same jet, and this one seems to be that plane at Fort Zancudo. I think it's the Titan. And here it's basically like, what else could you expect, right? We have 5 photos of 3 different planes, 2 shots of a private jet from different angles, 2 of a military fighter jet, and some big military transport plane. None of these models are used in Max Payne, and if you're not already freaking out, let me remind you that you've all seen the first 2 planes in the GTA 5 trailer. So I don't remember if they were talking about this one and this one or this one and that one, but if these showed up in the GTA 5 trailer here, it wouldn't be exactly a leak, but it's info people usually missed, and it was before GTA 5 even came out. Now, moving out of 2012 and into 2013, really close to the actual launch, there was a pretty crazy leak, but this one was the real deal, you know? I had never even heard about this before, just found out about it now, but it was a leak caused by Sony on the PlayStation Store. And dude, I'm gonna show you why this one was so wild. You can find it on several sites. This one's way easier to find, and it says, GTA 5 leaks online before release and Sony apologizes. Check out the level of this, man. Sony actually had to make an official apology post. More specifically, it says that GTA 5 had its files leaked online, revealing details about the story and soundtrack. Although the content wasn't a playable version, Sony issued an apology for what happened, stating the leak came from the PSN pre-order system, which lets users download the game before release so they don't have to wait for the download on launch day. Sony Europe, the region where the leak originated, posted an apology on their blog and said they would remove the early download files. Rockstar expressed disappointment over the incident but seems to place more blame on those spreading the information. So, the Rockstar execs and devs were pissed off at Sony, but they were even more pissed at the people sharing the stuff. Breaking down what happened, Sony's apology on their blog said that unfortunately, some people who pre-ordered the digital version of GTA 5 from the PlayStation Store in Europe were able to access certain GTA 5 content, and that content was posted online. We sincerely apologize to Rockstar and the GTA fans who were exposed to this content. This was the original post. I couldn't even find this myself. Wow, it was on Facebook. Damn, August 24th. So the leak really happened on the 23rd, and then Rockstar spoke about it and all that. Guys, this leak from Sony, you're not getting it. It wasn't some dumb leak, you know, like they basically leaked almost all the game's audio. Seriously, it was a ton of stuff. All the music, ambient sounds, cutscene audio. So if people listened to the cutscene audios, they knew what was going to happen. Not exactly who was who, but you could get a lot of story spoilers. So it was a huge leak and it was Sony's fault. Sony publicly apologized like I showed you guys, but still, this was the leak happening right before GTA 5's release, which was in September, and the leak happened in August on August 23rd. The game dropped September 17th. Man, less than a month. Wow. Can you imagine if something like this happened with GTA 6? Man, so many leaks in the last month. Rockstar really has bad luck with this stuff. So from what I saw, there was another leak, which was the Rockstar logo, like the intro and the logo, like at the start of GTA 5 in a YouTube video. But when I go to the page to check it out, it's this one here, like the Rockstar logo from the GTA 5 intro. The video is either private or removed from YouTube, so it was probably taken down by Rockstar. To me, that just makes it feel more legit, like it really was a leak. And you can see people commenting below, saying good things about the video. And if it was fake, I'm pretty sure everyone would be trashing it. So from what I researched, and I looked into it a lot, this did actually leak online, but the original video of this leak is no longer available. If anyone downloaded it, please re-upload it later. I don't think Rockstar would take it down nowadays. And lastly, guys, we're going to talk about the GTA 5 map. The GTA 5 map was probably one of the craziest things they managed to do, because the users got really close to the final version, you know? Like, except for the part where some users said the map would be 4 or 5 times bigger than GTA 4's, just the Los Santos area, which like we read before was totally off, like those users were way out there. But the users managed to recreate the GTA 5 silhouette with insane accuracy, and it all started like already with the trailers and got better with the last leak about the map. So I'll show you that last leak, then I'll show you how the maps ended up in the final version, alright? Alright guys, talking about the map here, I couldn't find like a full forum detailing everything in an organized way, but just so you get an idea, this was an initial sketch. Check it out, this is really early stuff, based on trailers and other things. The next one is a bit more advanced. Look at the level of drawing and detail. By this point, the users were already a bit closer. The airport down here, but up here on the map, it was still pretty scattered. Then we got this small improvement around the Blaine County area, and check out how the users did it. They took multiple screenshots from the trailer. Here the guy is marking several points, and based on those points, they started piecing the map together like this. Crazy, right? Imagine how much free time those users had, and they got it pretty spot on. There was a creek here, another one over there, Alamo Sea, and Sandy Shores was a bit more to the side. some streets here, and that Los Santos would be right down here. Check it out. And then it keeps evolving until it reached this final version here, which I'm going to show you. Guys, honestly, I'm not sure if this one is the actual final version. This one here is, well, this one's a bit rougher, but this one was already pretty polished. So this would be like the final version before the release. And man, it got really close, you know? Comparing it now to the GTA 6 maps we have, you can tell the users were working hard, like seriously grinding to make it as detailed as possible. What blows my mind is that even the streets here, let me hover over it so you can see better. Users managed to nail that there was this other area here. Los Santos, the main roads, the other one going up here. So yeah, guys, it really got super close. Just a reminder that the map itself wasn't leaked except for one thing. Do you remember how this beginning part was kind of messy in the concept map? Well, there was a leak that happened and it was like this. A trophy leak for GTA 5 on Xbox 360 revealed this trophy icon here, and this trophy icon is actually the full border of the San Andreas map from GTA 5, which includes Los Santos, Blaine County, Paleto Bay, and so on. Based on that, users were able to adjust and get to this version way faster, alright? Without that leak, users would have had a much harder time nailing this part of the map's shape. Some people even said it looked way too small and all. This leaked because the trophy list was leaked along with the icons, and the name of this trophy is related to exploring 100% of the game's map. So users assumed this was the map's shape and started working off of that, quickly moving on from the initial version, evolving it several times, and landing on this final version here, which honestly got pretty close to the actual final game's map. So, I don't know what you guys think about all this stuff I brought to you, but honestly, even though it took a while to research, I enjoyed making this video. Because, dude, seriously, it's cool to see that a lot of leaks actually came true and all that. But one really important point I didn't mention is that there were a lot of leaks that didn't pan out. So don't believe everything you see about GTA 6, especially since back in the day, it was harder for people to make fake GTA 5 leaks. Nowadays, it's way easier with AI and all kinds of tools, plus the hype from the community, GTA 5 mods, and so on. It's not that hard for users to fool you, and there have been plenty of people doing just that. Some folks make serious cash on YouTube just by making fake trailers or concept videos pretending to be GTA 6 leaks, all to trick people and rack up views. But this video was really fun to make. I enjoyed it a lot, so I hope you guys liked it too. I don't know if there were more leaks like this that actually ended up happening in GTA 5, but if there are, maybe I'll even bring a part 2. Drop a comment down below so I know if there's enough stuff. I'll do a part 2, and also on the channel's community tab, since now you can comment there and I'll keep bringing videos for you, alright? That's it guys, that's today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and click right here next to the yellow arrow to check out this crazy video, which is exactly that beta animation I mentioned that got cut from GTA 5, the one that showed up in the rumor. It's really cool to see Franklin climbing there. The whole thing is wild. With that said, big hugs, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.